All right, good morning. Welcome to the New York session. I hope you're all doing well. So here we are again with Wednesday, the 9th of July 2025, and we are looking at the dollar index as usual. So let's start with the daily time frame. Yesterday we looked at price going to the 50% of the range. Okay, so the 50% of the range, that is 97.90 level. That is where we are expecting price to trade to. Okay, so on the lower time frame, we are expecting a continuation to the upside to hit that level. All right, now today we have FOMC meetings at 7, so it's either they will get there before that, or price might stay in this little range, and then at 7 they will shoot it up there. Okay, eventually from a technical perspective, they will be trading up here. Right, the market maker buy model is clearly in here. We have this consolidation, distribution, and then last distribution here we broke, and then we accumulate here, and we've just accumulated there. So eventually they will be distributing above the first area of accumulation, which is over here. Sorry, the first area of distribution, which is over here. So they will bump into the low and then above it. That is why we are looking for a continuation to the upside. And with that, euro will also continue going lower. So we have this low to this high, and 50%, that is a potential target. Also, you can aim for fair value gaps that has not been filled. I think so far the only gap that we have is somewhere down here. Okay, maybe this Asian session gap will give a small pause in price, which comes in at the 1.166 1.1667 level. Maybe there might be a pause there, but ultimately I think they will go for the New York session. So another gap is over here, exactly at the 50%, and then right in here. That's the one that I think ultimately they might trade to. This one over here. So 1.1617 level. So look for continuation to the downside. Now, in terms of trade entries, let me zoom in. In terms of trade entries right now, they've not actually given any meaningful drop apart from this New York session, London session order block that was created. Now, I didn't take this, and the reason is the Asian session high was still intact, so chances were they might come for it before going down. That is why I did not take it. So wait for the New York session time. At 1:30 we don't have any news event today. I checked the economic calendar. The only news event we have is at 7 p.m., which is the FOMC meeting. So and chances are they might maybe hold price or continue going down. You're watching for the New York session to give you an order block or a fair value gap. Okay, so an order block or a fair value gap during the New York session, then you can use it to take a trade to take to 1.1667 level. British pound, I think that's the best one. I'm already short on that. You can see price took out. I initially took a hit in the morning over here. So this morning when this move happened, once they traded through this, after clearing that after clearing the Asian session high here and then broke down right in there, I took a sell as an inverted fair value gap, and it came and stopped me out and then came back down again. So as it was rejecting, I dropped down to the 5 and I sold short over here. So this high low breaking pullback, I sold right there, and so now I'm short, looking for a continuation to the downside, and I'm waiting for New York to also give another trade idea to come for these equal lows here and then trade to this gap. So that's kind of what I'm expecting today. And if we get aggressive move on the dollar index to continue going up, then ultimately the 1.3512 level will be the target. So patience. On the 1 hour we have a nice gap over here, so watch that, okay, because they can use it to trade down. That is the New York session gap. If you do get a trade, take something off there, all right, because they might pause there and then use the FOMC meetings to trade through it. Okay, so if you do get a trade idea during the New York session, do not hold to go for this low. Take something off here and then let the rest continue. Okay, so that is that for the British pound. Euro pound, I think they couldn't sustain that close, or they couldn't sustain a move to go above this high. Okay, so now we are stuck in a consolidation, which is okay because it allows the euro and the pound to move simultaneously. Okay, so nothing to be done on this. Dollar yen, they moved to that target. Okay, and as I mentioned, I'm not extremely bullish on this, and I'm not bearish. We might probably stay here for now based on the 1 hour time frame. This whole move went down first. Since we opened, we didn't go up, we actually went down. So I think they might come back up to the next level to close in the gap on the H4 here. So it's a void and they might go and close it in. Now we are too high, so I don't recommend buying unless, again, during the New York session you get a nice 15 minutes order block or a 15 minutes fair value gap. Those two are good to go for potential buy. If not, then sit on your hands. Let's see. Okay, maybe a run to clear these equal lows would be good idea first before the buy. Okay, a run to clean out these equal lows would be a good idea, and then you wait for rejection, then you buy. Okay. Gold. So I think gold has reached for now, what I deem as a target for this week, that was right in here. Okay, that is what I have deemed as a target for this week. Now it can continue going to attack this low, because ultimately that is where it needs to go. It needs to go and attack June's low. Okay, so that's where it's going. In terms of trade ideas, we have traded through this gap which formed during this one right here. That was the target for the week, and they've traded through it. So I think we'll continue going down to this low, and ultimately that one. The problem now is entry. Okay, and looking at this, they do have relative equal highs, so I'll not be a big fan, but if you want to risk it, you can sell exactly where we are. Stop loss should be above that one, or if possible, just above this candle's low, just above that, and then you look for continuation to the downside to here first, and then the rest you leave it to continue going to attack June's low. Okay, now in case it stops out, let's say for some reason, price will go up here and stop you out. If it does, perfect. Okay, that would be the perfect scenario, because as soon as it goes up there and it rejects during the New York session, you're gonna sell it again. The reason why this is also a sell idea, because we created this auto block here, right? This 1 hour candle, it's an auto block because we are bearish. Up candles with immediate close should, by definition, hold price. Okay, so up candles with immediate close, by definition of price action, should hold price. So by selling this is not a bad idea, but sometimes the market can be clever and want to kind of play games with the mind, so they will want to just go above it and then reject. So if it does that, no problem. After the rejection, just go in and sell it again. Okay, and I like it simply because Monday went up. Now this is something that I used to backtest a lot, where when the week starts and we have the movement to the upside like this, and it takes out a high, once we break this low, price will move symmetrically. So when I say symmetrically, you can use this tool that I gave you all to measure a target on the downside. So usually if we start the week and we have the manipulation to the upside first before we go down, once we break the origin of the move, price will go for 618 and then 2% respectively. Yes. So based on that alone, right, I'm confident that we will be going down, but it's just the entry and where your stop loss is going to be. That's why I'm proposing this one here. If it goes just above it, no problem, look for a rejection and then look for continuation to the downside. You can see how I just pulled this one out. You can see how perfect it hit that 127 level and then started rejecting, and then it going perfect to the 0 level. Okay, it's not random, but I will expect them to move down from here. Okay, I'm expecting them to move down from here. So this New York session, just wait till 2 p.m. Don't sell now. Okay, wait till 2 p.m. because we don't know where it's going to be. We are selling time instead of price. or we are waiting for time first and then price. Wherever it will be, that's where we're gonna sell. Okay. All right. So that is that for the gold market. Now let's go to crude oil. Crude oil, yesterday we had a nice impulse move away, and now we pulled back over the course of the evening, and then we rejected this landing. So I'm expecting a move up again. Now we did get an aggressive move yesterday to trade through, I think on the H4 right here. Okay, on the H4 we traded through that right there. So in my opinion, we might be going a little bit higher. This candle's low, that candle's low, that down candle's low. Yeah, actually this one. That might be the next draw on liquidity. However, since this is a whole big void, this candle's high can cause maybe a pause. Okay, it can cause a pause in price. Hence, you can start looking for reasons for price to give a pause. Okay, you can start anticipating price pausing like this. It gets there and it won't continue. You just stay for some time and then eventually it will continue. So again, this New York session, you're looking for price to go up. Now, your point where price stops being bullish is this candle's low. That comes in at 6752. That is when upside is no more valid. As long as we are above that, we are still valid to go higher. Okay, and London created a gap, so I'm expecting this New York to hold this gap and then send it higher one more time. So patiently wait for 2 p.m. and then we'll see what price will give us. ES, so ES, this is a level that yesterday we marked. We wanted price to come there to give us an idea, and price never did that. So we are still waiting for this gap for price to trade to it and then give us a move down. Okay, and let me take this one off and take this one off. So we are waiting for price to reach for the 6292.50 level. That's the fair value gap. We also have a nice down candle prior to the move up. So lots of confluence in here to stop price from moving higher. We also have a proportion candle, right? An order block with another order block proportion candle. So lots of reasons for price not to move higher in here. Okay, so again at 2 p.m. once you get there, wait for a quick rejection on the 15 minutes, and then you can start looking for your sell ideas. Now, in regards to ES in particular, the 10 o'clock candle, which is let me go over here, go to ES. 10 o'clock will be, so then 9 o'clock, then 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock candle. Those two candles are the most important candles that you want to pay attention to. Now I come here because of I want to speak in terms of the time, New York time. Okay. In terms of the New York time, 9, so 9 and 10 is your most important time when it comes to ES. Okay, for the AM session. So at 9, if we hit this level and we start rejecting any fair value gap that forms, you want to sell that. Same thing, if 9 is rejecting and then 10 also start going down, same thing, you can look for a 5 minutes fair value gap, 15 minutes fair value gap, or an auto block, and you want to sell it to continue going lower. Okay, so that is that for the ES. That's the specific. Now on over here I highlighted the 1 hour gap, but there, that is the specific level you're looking for on the M15. Okay, it matches with where the breaker is. The sharp move up with the breaker gap. That's exactly where you want price to reach for first before you think about doing anything. Okay, so that is that for the ES. Now let's move on to the crypto market. So with cryptos, the Bitcoin market is still, in my opinion, not ready to go up yet. Maybe today might give us a confirmation. It's still bullish, by the way. We've not changed our bias. We are still bullish. It's still kind of respecting that daily fair value gap, and so far today you're seeing a sharp move to the upside. Hence, we are still looking for 110651 as the drawn liquidity. I like the way the market is moving away. This is our first gap on the H4, so it's, well, we've got about 3 hours and 36 minutes to go. Anything is possible. If this candle can close like that, perfect. The day is likely gonna close above the previous day's high and potentially this down candle's high, and that will give you a high probability of tomorrow going up here. They can do it all at a go today, but I would rather they, give us the opportunity, or some of you the opportunity, to get in. So this H4 candle can stay, maybe go just a little bit above this high and stay bullish, leaving this gap, and that will give us an idea to go long, to clear out this equal high, and then the 11196 level. So with that, Ethereum, obviously we mentioned they were going to trade up into that gap. That will be sustained, and this is what I wanted the Bitcoin market to do, which is close above previous day's high. Then you can see price shoots up. Now if you've been here for some time, I think definitely you should be buying this, right? You should be in. Now let me take it off. Let me use the, now the question is, how do you buy this? Okay, remember we've done a couple of I've done a couple of teaching, and I said whenever we have a gap and price moves away closing above a down candle, that down candle becomes what? Sensitive as an auto block, and chances are they can either come to that candle's high and move higher, or they will create a gap, which is the next candle will open, not touch this, then just leave a small, maybe a low somewhere here, and that will create a fair value gap, and then it will shoot up. Now how do I know that it's gonna come to this? It's gonna depend on what is within this daily candle. Okay, this one, it's gonna depend on what is within this one. Okay, now if you drop down into the lower time frame, most of the time this candle will have a gap. Okay, so market closed at exactly, I think, 12. Let me take it off again. Oops. I don't know why it's not working, but for some reason it doesn't want to work. Okay, I think I've already taken it off. Nope, I haven't. Okay, let me do it all over again. Okay, there we go. So this candle closed like this. So on the H4, let me go back to Tuesday. Yes, right in here. Right in here. That's how the daily candle closed. That's how the daily. It doesn't want me to teach you, so I'll leave it like that. But what I was saying is, it's gonna have a gap, okay, and that gap is what they're going to use to form the low of the next day. So today's low is here. This low is here because they used this gap. And like I said, cryptos is not the same as currencies, hence they can use gaps that formed outside the kill zones to move price. So this gap here, that is where the low of today formed. So if you go onto the daily time frame, you see where the low formed, right? That's how you could have got an entry. So if you're here, maybe this should have been an easy trade for you to take. Okay, also we had a nice move away here. This was a pullback up, pullback up. All right. Solana on the, let's check on the daily. So maybe after today, Solana will give an opportunity to trade higher one more time. I think I made mention you're going up here. Okay, so these are your upside objectives. This one, that one, and then ultimately that. All right. Now, if we can close again today like this, that will give an opportunity for a potential long going into tomorrow. All you need is a gap forming. I think they have one here. We made a new high. This gap, pay attention to it. If we pull back to that, you wanna take a trade long on the Solana. Okay, so if we pull back, that's your entry to continue going up. If it stops out, use this one. I think it will just be a run on stop because the market is disposed to go higher. We are keying off from a fair value gap over here, this one. Okay, so as long as that gap is opened, price is gonna go up. Any drop on the lower time frame is just always going to be a manipulation. Okay, XRP, I think we're already up. Yesterday we talked about this. Okay, 2 days ago we talked about that. Here going up, partial, and then today, actually no, this was the other day. I'm confused. That was Monday. Yes, I remember now. That was Monday, and this was yesterday. Okay, yesterday I said you wanna buy, or the low. Okay, I remember now. My memory is coming back. I said the low of that H4 candle was gonna form here, right? The fair value gap, and then they're gonna shoot up. So you can buy that, leave your stop loss there, and then aim for that. And that's a beautiful movement. So that was a pullback into that gap, expansion, pullback, and then off it went. So that equal high is now gone. this high is gone. This equal high is already gone. They've traded into that gap. So let's move a little bit higher in terms of time frames to determine where they need to go now. If again this week can close bullish, that's nice. We will have a fair value gap here, hence we will be aiming for 2.652. 2.65. Yeah, 655. Okay, so that will be the draw, but that's if the week can close bullish. For now, the next draw is here. Where is here? Here is 2.4799, 2.4799, or you can say 2.8, 2.48. That's the next draw liquidity. The gap there, that's what's going to be filled now, and we have a nice gap here. Look at it, so beautiful, right? Fair value gap, pullback, expansion, fair value gap, pullback, expansion. Now we have a gap. They actually dipped into it. That's what became a launch pad for price to shoot up. So 2.4800, that's the next drawn liquidity on the H4. If we pull back, maybe somewhere here, you wanna look for a buy. Now it's too late. If you didn't buy yesterday, it's too late. Hype, we are still not doing anything with hype, so let's move on to AI16. AI16 is still within that consolidation. We are still waiting for that expansion away from the consolidation. Until then, we rest the case and we wait for the expansion. But like I said, expansion to the upside is what I'm anticipating. And then touch key, nothing is happening yet. So patience with it. Now let's go back. Bitcoin, I think I've already said a lot. Today closing bullish, it take you up there. In terms of trade ideas, I think let me see, Solana. Yeah, Solana will be a good one for the move up here. If we pull back to this gap. Okay, so pay attention. I think yesterday I gave something similar to this on XRP. Now let me place another one here just in case this low, and then your stop loss goes there and you're aiming for that. That's the drawn liquidity. All right, okay, let's go back to the currencies, and actually I'm interested in gold. So we've got about 26 minutes to go, and it'll be 2 o'clock. At that time, that is when you start looking at gold. For now, just sit patiently and wait for 2 p.m. Time first, then price. Time, price. All right, and yeah, yes, time, price. This is price. We are waiting for time. Okay, so that is all I have for you for today. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you all same time tomorrow for another beautiful session. Till then, take care.